With funding crises that multiple American transit agencies have faced, I want to build a case for why mass transit should be funded. And here's my number one argument: mass transit reduces road traffic. Some transit advocates listening to this video may be puzzled as to why I care about road traffic so much to make this my number one argument. Part of the answer to this question is math. In a country where 92% of households own a car, the math is such that you need car owning households on your side in order to successfully advocate for mass transit funding. If you don't seek to have car owners on your side, the math is not going to be on your side if you want your advocacy to be successful. In light of that, perhaps the best place to start is by talking about how good mass transit reduces road traffic. After all, I have never heard someone say, "Man, I just love myself a lengthy traffic jam." To the contrary, especially in large and growing American metropolitan areas, you're more likely than not going to hear complaints about how bad the traffic is. Which gets me to another reason I want to start with this particular argument in favor of funding mass transit. Because it's something that addresses an issue that transcends party lines in this polarized country. The issue being how bad the traffic is. And given how bad the traffic is, I think we need to think about how to make traffic not as bad. Where there is a discussion to be had is how to get reduced traffic in busy areas. Some may bring forth congestion pricing in the center of cities. And I get why. Early results from congestion pricing out of New York City have been promising. However, in a metro area where there are multiple major centers of employment, I'm not convinced that congestion pricing is the solution. Some may say that we should just add one more lane to that congested highway. But this is extremely problematic. There is a growing body of evidence saying that if you widen highways, more people will drive, more people will take longer trips, and more people will take those trips more frequently, thus resulting in more traffic, and thus resulting in a never ending cycle of traffic issues. To add insult to injury, there are some areas where there just isn't the room to widen highways without displacing a lot of people. So, yeah, I don't think highway widenings are the solution either. Rather, the best way to improve traffic, or at least slow down the worsening of traffic, is by improved mass transit. If people use mass transit, we then wouldn't be driving, or at least not driving as much. That would then take cars off the road, thus improving traffic for people who do drive. Something that would make drivers happy, which, let's be honest, is many of us in the United States. And I'm not saying that because I'm some car loving train lover, as this one comment said on one of my videos. I'm saying that because I'm just being honest with who the United States is as a country in terms of vehicle use. In addition to improving traffic for those who do drive, there's another, even bigger benefit to the reduced traffic resulting from better mass transit funding, and therefore better mass transit. That benefit is that the reduced traffic means quicker response times to emergencies, such as violent crimes, medical emergencies, and fires. To put it bluntly, reduced traffic saves lives. And that's a benefit that I think car lovers, transit advocates, and everyone in between can get behind. It's a benefit that I think people across party lines can also get behind. You might be asking by this point of the video, why am I putting so much emphasis on pro transit arguments going across party lines? It's because of a big elephant in the room that exists when it comes to transit advocacy, which is that, fair or not, mass transit advocacy tends to be thought of as mostly a politically progressive endeavor. And yes, there are certainly arguments in favor of funding mass transit that appeal more to progressives than conservatives. You'll hear some of those arguments on this channel as well, including this series I'm doing. However, it is also important to highlight pro transit arguments that appeal across party lines, and that is something I'm trying to do in today's video. Especially given how closely divided the federal government has been in recent years. And given that some states are likely to remain in control of the Republican Party for a long time, it's important to have pro mass transit arguments that appeal across the political spectrum. I think this is the best path transit advocates have to lasting change. Because, whether we want to acknowledge it or not, it's likely or certain that both Democratic and Republican support will be needed to fund mass transit agencies and fund infrastructure projects to improve mass transit. If we don't have pro transit arguments that appeal across party lines, I may be old or dead before large cities and states likely to be controlled by Republicans for decades to come, such as Oklahoma City, Indianapolis, and Memphis, get the mass transit they deserve. And I'm not even that old. I'm a millennial. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like this video and subscribe to my channel for more content on imagining better mass transit in the United States. Thank you, and have a good day.